Welcome back, everybody, to the Kansas Jayhawks Dynasty here. Episode 42 of Season 4. We are beginning the year in undoubtedly our toughest matchup yet against the second-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. If you missed the offseason live stream, Kansas and the Tide have never matched up in a regular season match or a bowl game matchup. So this one will be the first time in history that Alabama takes on the KU Jayhawks. So hopefully we can make history as the number 20th ranked Kansas Jayhawks take on the number 2nd ranked Alabama Crimson Tide in Alabama. We are going down to the field here. You can see some of the key players for both of these squads. And the main issue for the Jayhawks going into the year is where are the receiving corps going to get their best players. We lost 5 senior receivers: Luke Grimm, Tristan Golady, Stephen McBride, Trevor Wilson, and James Smith, all left due to graduation or draft declarations. And now we are left with just a few inexperienced guys and some true freshmen back there at the receiving corps. But besides that, we return a lot of the supporting cast from last year, as we'll get with Jalen Milroe, the Tide quarterback, on the first play of the game, trouting out on the field 28 yards as he's pushed out of bounds. And if you're the Jayhawks coming out here against Alabama, you just want to keep it close. You just want to make it competitive as Javon Baker, and just like that, 32 yards and 28 yards on their first 2 plays from scrimmage. Now 1st and goal. Milroe gives it to Wheaton, breaking tackles and into the end zone. 7 yards on the play and a 3-play, 75-yard drive for the Tide as Devin Neal gets hit hard and loses 4 on the play. 2nd and 14 now. This Jayhawks offensive line struggled last year. Let's see what they can do this year. 2nd and 14, they go outside to Arnold. And Lawrence Arnold, who is the most experienced receiver in this receiver group, and he is just a senior with 4 catches to his name, but he's looking to have himself a breakout year as Devin Neal goes for 7 and the Jayhawks continue to drive. Now 3rd and 4 later on inside Alabama territory. Hawley goes outside and he's almost intercepted by Cutler that time. He's got a 4th and 4 now as the true freshman kicker Vincent is going to try and knock down his first one of his career, and he does just that right down the middle. And now a 1st and 10, 5:14 remains. Milroe, play action, goes outside to his fullback Mooney, who's going to make a little bit of a move. And Lance Mooney, after 20 yards, is getting him down the field. Now a 3rd and 7, a chance to stop the Tide before they score again. Milroe out of the shotgun, no pressure up the middle, so he has plenty of time to get the pass to Ja'Cory Brooks for 11 yards on the play. So 2nd and 7 as they continue to drive. Probably going to be a handoff to Wheaton. No, Wheaton leaves the backfield. Milroe going to make the pass. He comes back in and he wants to take it himself. Nobody's there. 9-yard touchdown run, and just like that, the Crimson Tide take an early 14-3 lead. 2:16 remaining in the first. Hawley, play action, wants to throw, but he has no time. Play action on the play just holds him there too long. The Crimson Tide's defensive line has an opportunity here to start a 3-and-out streak. 3rd and 4, and he's got Harris, who gets lit up. Donnell Harris, after 7 yards, getting the first down. As we get down to the final seconds of this first quarter, and Sean Johnson with a slant for 7 yards. 3rd and 1 as we open up the second quarter. He's going to be calling an audible. Looks like they're going to go to a slam. Halfback slam. Right up the left side, bouncing off the lineman, and he's got a 5-yard gain, enough for the first down there. And now the Jayhawks have an opportunity to stay in this one. 3rd and 10. Hawley calling an audible. 7:39 and counting. He wants to fire across the middle, and there we go, a drop. And they had that problem last year. Last year, the Jayhawks receivers had a massive amount of drops when they were needed in the clutch. And this year, no different, as on 4th and 10, Jayhawks quarterback Conrad Hawley gets sacked, and the Tide take over, up 14-3 still, as Hall is going to get tripped up after 19 yards of G. Hall. And just like that, the Tide down 2nd and goal. Milroe looking to pass, and he's got his man on the slant. Javon Baker, nothing you can really do there. Number 5 with his first touchdown catch of the year. So the Jayhawks here on 3rd and 9 with 5:12 remaining starting to get a little bit of panic in their minds here as they look to get back into this game before halftime. Thankfully, the Tide did accept to receive the ball despite winning the coin toss, so perhaps they're going to get a touchdown here and have some momentum going into halftime as they will come out with the ball first, and two nice back-to-back passes here for the Jayhawks, and Conrad Hawley looking to get them on the board again. 3rd and 6 though, firing, and it's almost intercepted. Danny Lester with a deflection, and they are going to go for it once again. 3rd and 6 went to 4th and 6. Hawley looking to throw, fires outside, and it's deflected out of Arnold's hands, and the Tide take over again. 21-3 is still the score, so still an 18-point ball game before halftime. Milroe wants to throw, running around. Taylor takes him down. First sack of the day for Caleb Taylor, and hopefully this is his senior year, the first sack of many for Caleb Taylor. Now 3rd and 13, Milroe fires to his man in double coverage, and Thay Jones-Bell is able to get the catch, but just barely short of the first down. So now the Jayhawks have a little bit of room to work with. 3rd and 10. Hawley fires down the middle, and he's got Cardell. Some great blocking. Makes a man miss across the right side, and he's going to cut back out all the way down to the 20-yard line after a massive gain there. 3rd and 8 now. Hawley wants to throw. Fires, and it's intercepted by Duncan. Duncan's got a lot of room to run down the middle, and he's just barely tripped up. Devin Neal saves the day there. That very could have easily been a pick 6 by the linebacker Duncan, but instead I.G. Hall with 15 yards on that catch and run, and the Tide would settle for a late field goal here in this second quarter as we get under the minute mark, and the Jayhawks are struggling now, down 21 into half. 7:40 is where we pick it up at the third quarter. 2nd and 9. Hawley wants to throw, fires outside into triple coverage, and that's where the decision making needs to improve. Conrad Hawley, we saw it last year. This year it looks like it's continued on in his play. He has not had the greatest decisions so far today. On 2nd and 1, Milroe cuts it up the middle and into the end zone. Actually, the only defender to touch him was his own teammate who cut him off there at the last second. But on a 1st and 10, Donnell Harris with a 15-yard catch there. As the spirits are starting to get a little low. Obviously, this one's well out of reach at this point. And another drop on a 3rd down would set up a punt. And the Tide take over again, up 28 still. Milroe on 1st and 10 fires to his man Brooks. And Ja'Cory Brooks will spin around for 11 yards there. Now 5:13 and counting. 1st and 10. Milroe looking to throw again. Got a man open who he finds outside, and that is going to be Hall. G. Hall with another 12-yard reception. And it seems like almost every pass is going for 10 or more yards. 1st and 10. Milroe looking to throw at the slant. Deflected by his own man and intercepted. Jason Gilliam, the junior safety, takes that one out of the air. Wish we had got a replay of it, as that was an excellent play, but a 4-yard run for Neal is going to start the next drive as we continue downfield. 2nd and 1. Hawley calling some audibles, got Neal again up the right side, and he's got 7 yards. And a nice run there. So Conrad Hawley with a chance to redeem himself. 3rd and 6, looking for Johnson, and nobody's going to get him until he's right there at the line, but he's going to be short of about 2 yards. 2nd and 4th and 2. Give it to Neal on the outside. Makes a man miss, and he's into the end zone. Can't get too excited about it on a 2nd and 12. Just like that, it is a 31-10 ball game as Jalen Milroe gets swamped right there. 5-yard loss, and a 3rd and 16 upcoming for this team, as we have not had much success on the defensive side of the ball. Hopefully we can make that different now. 3rd and 16, slings it downfield, and it's caught. Javon Baker, 54 yards as he takes that out of the hands of Dotson. And it was just not our day today. Possibly just way too outmatched as Hawley fumbles it. Walker recovers, and 38-10 is starting to look even worse now on a 3rd and 2. Milroe hasn't given it to Wheaton at all this drive, and now he's just got a man wide open. Thay Jones-Bell with a 7-yard strike, And head coach Smemes will give Maurice Butler an opportunity here in this fourth quarter to show something, as Conrad Hawley has struggled all day. Definitely not a losing his position struggle, because this is Alabama, but just a little something to get him off the field and let him think about how he played today and reflect on it. As a 2nd and 8, Maurice Butler, after some success through the air, rolling out, looking for the end zone, got his man who comes out of the end zone for whatever reason, and Sean Johnson would get us down to the 1-yard line. Now 2nd and goal, Butler play action, looking to go to the end zone, and he does. Bryson Gay, sophomore tight end, with a 2-yard strike there. And just like that, the Jayhawks might be back in this one. No, not back in it at all, but 17-45 looks a lot better than 38 or 45-10. As we get a nice stop there on the slant or into the flats pass from Milroe to Wheaton, but this time on 2nd and 11, Wheaton's got the first down. 13 yards, as he is averaging a lot of yards per carry. Just an excellent outing from him. And this Alabama team as a whole has almost played a perfect game besides that one freak interception. Wheaton continues his strong day, breaking tackles on the outside, and 18 yards later, he's in the red zone now. 1st and goal for this team. 1:25 remains, and Milroe keeps it himself another rushing touchdown for the Tide. Just like that, 52-17. Butler finds Arnold, who does make a man miss. Nice little stutter step off the slant route and a 28-yard catch and run. As we get down here on the 52-second mark, 1st and 10. Butler play action, going for the end zone. Got a man open. Ryan Hart. So the 2 tight ends have made plays now in this fourth quarter on a 1st and 10. We find the Tide here, giving it to Wheaton, who stiff arms Wheeler off into the races, and he is gone. Nobody was even close to him. Donovan Gaines is the closest one, but he dives at the air. And we would go into this one 59-24, 5 seconds left. Butler slings it downfield, and Johnson does catch it for the touchdown, 47 yards. But just a disappointing performance. You could say that this team was not ready at all for this Alabama defense, and they just didn't seem like they were ready to play a team as good as Alabama is. But hey, the school probably got a large payout to play Alabama here in week 1, and it showed with how resilient we were in that fourth quarter. We made it an interesting game. 59-31 is the score. A lot better than 59-10, which could have been the score if we didn't score at all in that fourth quarter. Jayhawks go down to 0-1 here after week 1, but not too bad of a loss, all things considering. All we have to do is look forward to next week, and before we do that, I feel like it's time to introduce you guys to our 5 creative prospects from the subscribers and 2 from myself, as we are going to go ahead and get into that now. Here we are to begin with. First up, we already have a guy committed from the creative recruits. He is one of the top players in the country, the #1 overall quarterback, and on a lot of boards, he's the #1 overall player overall in this recruiting class. 85 overall, Terrell Carter from Weatherford, Texas. He is committed to Texas A&M already. I assume they have the instant commit over there with Jimbo Fisher, but he could always bring that commitment out. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see what he does, but Terrell Carter has himself an amazing arm, and he's just a true all-around dual-threat quarterback. Amazing speed, lightning athleticism there, but what he does lack in that area is awareness. He struggles very, very heavily in the awareness category, and he sometimes has difficulties being able to tell when the situation is dire and when he should get rid of the ball or not force it into coverage. That is the biggest issue with Terrell Carter, but it looks like he is going to be a prolific player for years to come in this college football realm, as he is committed to Texas A&M. 6'4", 210 pounds, 5-star quarterback there. First up for our creative prospects. Now, second up, we have a guy from Germany, a JUCO sophomore quarterback. He currently plays for Boston Community College. He's a pocket passer, Johan Tyndall, 6 foot, 195 pounds. He is an all-around pocket passer. He does not have any speed. Great throw power, probably the best throw power in his class, but his accuracy is where it falters. As you can see there, 90 throw power and only 75 accuracy. So that's going to be something you'll have to work on if you recruit a guy like Johan Tyndall. which we are not currently running after him, but it looks like he may go to Minnesota, where he will transfer out of Boston Community College to play for the Golden Gophers over there. And that is the second recruit that was created by one of our subscribers. Now here we go with the third, and this one was personally made by me. I made this one and the $10 one. Here we are. Luke Grimm's brother, Jason Grimm, a 4-star receiver. He is 6'8", 200 pounds. He mostly plays tight end at his high school in Fairway, Kansas, but he is mostly listed as a receiver simply because they don't run a tight end in their offense, but he plays the role that a tight end would take. 85 speed, 82 acceleration, 70 strength, and 80 jumping. He's got some nice catching, but he is one of those guys that struggles to make the routine catches. He struggles to make every play catches, but he can wow you with those spectacular catches if he's able to bring them in. He comes in at a 71 overall, and we are looking to get him on the team here in Kansas, as he is a hometown hero and a hometown kid. We all know and loved his brother, so hopefully Jason Grimm will make the right decision and come play here at Kansas. But the fourth guy we've got to introduce here is Nick Kelly from Columbia, South Carolina. 4-star receiver. He's 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, so a little undersized for the receiver core or receivers in this class, but he has prolific speed, 90 speed, 92 acceleration. Not the strongest or the greatest spectacular catch guy, but he can make those every play catches that we were just talking about that Jason Grimm cannot make. 85 catching, only 65 spectacular, and 75 catch in traffic, but 78 route running, so he just looks like an all-around slot receiver. He's going to be short, he's going to be quick, and he can make your team a lot better. Hopefully we can convince him to come over here and play for the Jayhawks, but as of right now, it looks like Tulane and Bowling Green are leading the team there, or leading his scouting or recruiting teams there. And finally, the final recruit that was created by our subscribers is Morgan Weems, a 3-star tackle. He is a 72 overall, 6'8", a massive left tackle right there, 325 pounds. Great in the run blocking. As you can see, he's not the fastest, but 75 strength, 85 pass block, 75 run block, and 75 impact block. This is a guy we're really going after. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Looks like he could be a great person to bring on the team. We're currently in the 3rd spot for his race there, but hopefully we can make a little bit of room, as we're going to go ahead and offer him a scholarship and a few of these other guys scholarships, just to see if that'll help them get on board with this Jayhawks team just a little bit more. And that was just a quick introduction to all of the recruits that were made for this season. Thank you to everybody that went out there and commented on the videos. Make sure after this season to be on the lookout for something like that, as we are probably going to do that again in the next season if this series continues for a 5th year. But as of right now, we all know what we do after these games. Maurice Butler finished the day 10 of 12, 158 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, all in the 4th quarter. Really pushing for maybe getting that starting job back away from Conrad Hawley, but as of right now, going forward, we're going to stick with Hawley. 16 of 34, 235, and 3 interceptions. Not a single touchdown for Conrad Hawley, as my dog begins to make noises all in the background of this video. Sorry about that. 23 for 102 and a touchdown for Devin Neal. 6-7 for Conrad Hawley, and Maurice Butler had 2 for 24, so 2 nice runs for him. Off the receiving core, something that we were really worried about. Really did not matter too much how we did in this game because we were down the whole day. Really had no opportunities to come back in it. Sean Johnson, though, freshman, redshirted last year, 9 for 145 and a touchdown. He was definitely the leader of this team. Lawrence Arnold, though, a senior receiver, as I said, who has not had much playing time. 6 for 103, not a touchdown today, but possibly he'll get one in the future. Donnell Harris had a lot of short catches, 5 for 39. He's really taking over that Luke Grimm spot with his slot and ability there. Trevor Cardell, only 2 for 80, so hopefully we can convince him or get him to play a little bit better, because we convinced him to come back for another year. And I hope he doesn't lose his draft spot there just because he didn't get involved in the offense. Ryan Hart with that touchdown, and Bryson Gay with the other one for the tight end possession. Blocking-wise, we did allow 2 sacks. That would be Ford Jr. with 2 sacks given up on his side. Defensively, John Quay Lewis led the team in tackles, 7 tackles, 6 solo, 1 assisted, 1 for a loss. Romello Dotson had 6 total solo tackles, 1 for loss, and a sack. Nice play by him. Edwin White-Schultz is up there as well with 6 solo tackles. An interception did go to Jason Gilliam. If I could get that to show up down here somewhere. Yes, Jason Gilliam, no tackles or any other statistic, but he had a clutch interception there. Didn't really affect the outcome of the game, but what are you going to do? Vincent, 1 for 1 today on his first field goal attempt of his career. 33 yards, and he was 4 of 4 with extra points. And Collins, the punter, only had 1 punt for 49 yards, but he did pin them relatively deep in their own territory. As we look around the league after week 1, not too many games going on in that week 1. A lot of teams have their bye weeks early on, but we will see there was a few interesting games. Memphis took down Ball State. Ohio State dominated Bowling Green, who is going to go to 1-0 as Ohio State is 3rd in the nation. Minnesota in the running for Johan Tyndall, 35 for 15, or 35-15 win over Marshall. And other than that, we had the rivalry game between Notre Dame and Texas. 9th-ranked Notre Dame takes this one against 12th-ranked Texas, 42-35. So that's interesting to see how Texas responds after getting an early loss this year. And this next week, we have a few interesting games coming up, but a lot of sleeper games. Nothing too crazy going on. A lot of FCS games. Arkansas State takes on Auburn, who Auburn has struggled so far throughout this series. Maybe they can bounce back this year, but I highly doubt it's going to be the year. Virginia and Oregon take each other on national TV. And other than that, USC and Texas A&M, 2 top-ranked teams, number 20 for A&M and number 11 for USC. Georgia and Oklahoma in the Cowboys Classic take each other on. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. And Tennessee and Nebraska take each other on in a nationally broadcast game. That's about it for this week 2 right there, as we will see what goes on. We are currently in a bye week now, but next week we will have a rivalry opportunity to get payback on the Missouri Tigers. They are currently ranked 15th in the country. Actually, they took a loss, so now they are 21st. Who did they lose to in that first week? Let's see. Lost to Georgia, so kind of understandable there. 42-21. They took the L. They beat us last year pretty formidably, and it wasn't really all that close. So hopefully we can take advantage of a tougher team this year as we have gotten better through the offseason. What do you guys think we're going to be able to do against Missouri next week? Comment down your predictions. If you enjoy this series, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And I will see you guys next episode as we travel back to Kansas for a home matchup in the rivalry game against the 21st ranked Missouri Tigers.